Hello, geography students. Today we are going to be working on some writing practice since we're going to be starting our essays very soon. We are going to work on claims today, specifically our main claims and our subclaims. So you should have one other thing open on your computer at this point besides just this video, and it should be this document right here. So this is your homework for today. You are going to go ahead and watch the video. We're going to go over some tips, some samples to give you a better idea of how to do this assignment. And then you are going to go through and fill out all of these kind of fun questions on your own, writing main claims and subclaims that correspond with those main claims. As you can see, a sample has already been done for you. We'll go over that in more detail as well. But for right now, this document should be open. So go ahead and open that up just so it'll be easier for you when we have you start to work on it during the video. Alrighty, I'm going to go into full screen mode so it's easier to see now that you have your other document open. So just a little bit of review since we already wrote an essay in English. Hopefully this is review to us and it's just refreshing us on some of the format of what a main claim, what a subclaim is, all that kind of stuff, and then the overall format of an entire essay. So we all know that the essay starts with the introduction. You have a hook, you have a bridge, and you have a main claim. We'll get into what all of that is in much more detail in the coming weeks as we write this essay together. Today we're going to focus on the main claim, like I said. Next, you have body paragraphs. In this essay specifically, you will have 2 body paragraphs. Those start with a subclaim, which we'll focus on today. And then you have evidence sentences, analysis sentences, evidence sentence, analysis sentences, and concluding sentences. And we will get more into those actually tomorrow. And finally, you have your concluding paragraph. You're going to reword your main claim. You'll have a so what statement, a global statement. Again, we'll get into that as we go on. But just as a review, this is what your essay will look like. It's a total of 4 paragraphs with an introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. So in our main claim always has the same formula. It is the subject, so whatever the prompt is asking you about, your opinion or your argument, whatever you are trying to argue in response to the prompt, whatever point you're trying to make, and you give 2 topics or categories why. Okay, so let's say that our prompt was asking, what's the best animal in the world and why? So we could answer, dogs are the best animal in the world. That is our first part, right? Then we say because they show compassion for other animals and they learn quickly. So that is a fully written, effective main claim statement. Obviously yours will be different on this essay, but let's just say it's about animals for this one. So what I want you to do very quickly, I want you to reread that sample statement to yourself, and I want you to think, what is the subject? What's the opinion? And what are the 2 key topics or 2 key categories given? So again, answer that underlined question. I'll give you a few seconds to think about it in your head. Alrighty, let's see if you got it correct. Again, we are going to always have the subject, our argument or opinion, and our 2 topics that state why. So as we can see with our little key right here, dogs was our subject, okay? Our argument is that they are the best animal in the world. That's the argument that we're making. Our key reason, number 1, was because they show compassion for other animals. And our key reason, number 2, was because they learn quickly. So again, this is a full main claim. If you are ever worried that your main claim is inaccurate or ineffective, a good practice is to make sure that it has all of these components. If you can go through and highlight or circle, underline, however you kind of want to make sure all those components are there, as long as they are, your main claim's probably a pretty good one. If they are not, you obviously need to go back and fix something to make it a little bit better. So getting into our subclaims then, remember this again was our main claim in case we need to go back and look. We talked about dogs are the best animal in the world, so that's going to be the main thing that we're arguing through the entire essay. That is the basis, that is the founding point, the overall argument of our essay. Every single other thing that we write in this essay has to be somehow proving, yes, I am correct, I'm super smart, I was right, dogs are the best animal in the world, and here's why. So again, our main claim is kind of like a roadmap to the rest of the essay. It tells us we're going to be talking about dogs, we're going to be saying they're the best animal in the world, and we're going to say why. So our first reason is they show compassion for other animals. So our first body paragraph will be all about them showing compassion for other animals and how that proves that yes, in fact, they are the best animal in the world because they show compassion for other animals. Our second body paragraph will be about they learn quickly, so that proves they're the best animal in the world. Order does matter, so make sure you're doing this in the correct order. Whatever you list first will be your first body paragraph. Whatever you list second will be your second body paragraph. We will get more into what makes up the body paragraph as we go into the next coming days, but the very first sentence of each of your body paragraphs will be your subclaim, okay? So it's kind of the roadmap for that body paragraph. Again, because we listed they show compassion for other animals first as our first topic or category, we are going to delve more into how do they show compassion for other animals, right? What are some of the pieces of evidence you can give me? What are some of the pieces of analysis you can give me on that? And that will be our second paragraph, our first body paragraph. The subclaim is going to be made up kind of the same way. You have a subject, opinion, and 2 key reasons why, again, right? And again, it is specific to one of the key reasons that you gave from your main claim. Because this was first, this will be our first subclaim. So a sample subclaim could be dogs show compassion for other animals. And again, it correlates to this part right here, our first category in our main claim. Then we would say because they exhibit altruism and empathy as well as happiness to greet their owners, right? And these 2 key reasons, you might kind of be wondering, where did those come from? Those will come from your evidence. So it's always a good idea to know what evidence you are going to be using, or at least kind of the topics of the evidence you're going to be using. It's a good idea to have those evidence sentences picked out before you write your subclaims, because those will be the reasons in your subclaims, okay? So again, your key reasons in your subclaim will come from the evidence you collect. You would have had a piece of evidence on altruism probably because you kind of say it right here. And you would have probably had a piece of evidence on happiness to greet their owners because you summarize it right here. Again, in your subclaim, you don't go into every single detail about your evidence sentence, or else why would you have an evidence sentence? Repeating yourself is never what we want to do here. This is just kind of summarizing, letting the reader know, okay, so they're going to talk about dogs show compassion for other animals here. They're going to talk about something about altruism, something about happiness to greet their owners. Then you'll get into that as you go throughout your essay, as you write your evidence sentences and your analysis sentences. So again, just a very quick overview. You've got your main claim. That goes in the introduction. In your body paragraph 1, you have your first subclaim that relates to your first key reason from your main claim, right? And you would have the reasons because something from first evidence sentence, something from second evidence sentence, and then you would have your other evidence sentences, your analysis in this body paragraph, okay? And they would all be related to showing compassion for others. Your body paragraph 2 would be about how they learn quickly, your second key category that you brought up in your main claim. So again, your subclaim would say something about them learning quickly. That's the whole point of your second body paragraph, because, and then again, you would have something from your first evidence sentence, something from your second evidence sentence. You'd kind of summarize it here. And then you would also bring up analysis as well. Okay, so that's kind of going to be the way that we go throughout this. What we are going to do now, in your document, you are going to read the prompt. Okay, so it's going to give you a prompt. On your document, you are going to write a main claim that answers the prompt. Then you're going to write 2 subclaims that go along with that prompt. Make sure you're answering the prompt. A sample is done for you that will break down in 1 second. And then you're going to turn in the Google document to Canvas. If you do it on time, I will leave comments for you. So I'll look at least one of your samples, leave you good comments, good feedback, so you know exactly what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right, so we can improve before we ever even get into writing the essay. So that's hopefully going to be very helpful. So looking at our sample prompt says, what is the best holiday? Okay, so we're going to go into our document right here. As we can see, this is the prompt. What's the best holiday? This is my sample, right? So the best holiday is Halloween. So I have my argument, I have my subject. I'm talking about the best holiday, and I'm arguing it's Halloween because it allows people to express their creativity and it encourages people to be social, this should say polite, in polite ways. Okay, so those are my 2 key categories or 2 key topics that I bring up in my main claim. So now we know that my first subclaim should be about allowing people to express creativity, because that's the first reason I list. And my second should be about encouraging people to be polite in social ways, because that's my second that I list. We do not have evidence here. Normally, your subclaims will be founded on evidence, right? It won't just be random things that you make up in your head or that you say. For this practice, because it's just for fun and I just want to make sure you understand the format, it is fine if you just create reasons in your head. I'm not asking you to find articles to back up your opinion or anything like that. So again, this one would say Halloween allows people to express their creativity, our first reason up here, because then you give two more reasons. And again, normally it's based on evidence. Right now, just do it off the top of your head because we don't have evidence. In your actual essay, you'll obviously have evidence. We'll be reading articles. So Halloween allows people to express their creativity because it lets us use our imagination to think of costumes. That's one. And to use artistic skills to create our costumes. That's two. So we can see we have our subject, which is Halloween, our argument, which it's allowing people to express their creativity. Then we have our two key reasons. Our second subclaim, right, is about encouraging people to be polite in social ways. So we would say Halloween encourages people to be polite while being social. So we've said our second key category already, right? Then we need two key reasons why. So because children are taught to say please and thank you while trick-or-treating, and it encourages people to meet their neighbors and converse with them in polite ways. Okay, so that's going to be a perfect example. The only other thing that you need to do is make sure you highlight your main claim. You don't need to highlight your subclaims, but according to this, I need you to highlight your subject green, your argument red, and your two key reasons blue. Okay, so you're going to follow along just with this sample. You can go through the slides and they continue to ask you questions. So which is a better pet, a dog or cat? Then you will write a main claim. You'll write two subclaims. Okay. What is better, pizza or ice cream? You know the drill. You'll write a main claim. You'll write two subclaims. Who is the best superhero and why? You'll write a main claim, two subclaims. And then finally, what's the best school subject? You'll write a main claim and you'll write two subclaims. You will not hurt my feelings if you don't say geography. That's okay. Just be honest. So again, folks, that is what we're working on. When you finish this document, it really shouldn't take that long, especially if you followed the advice throughout the video. You are going to submit it on Canvas. If you're struggling, if you're super confused as to what to do, or you're not sure if you're doing your subclaims totally right, this is the point. I want you to struggle with it. Don't immediately reach out to your teacher. Try to struggle with it and your teacher will give you feedback, okay? And then you'll have a chance to go back and revise it and all of that good stuff. So that is what we should be doing right now. So good luck, everyone. Make sure that you're following all the tips and the hints in this video, and that's what you'll work on. Turn this document in when you are done.